So I've been wanting to make a channel for a while just so I can use this to talk and to express myself in a particular kind of way, which is basically just me speaking the things that come to my head at different times throughout the day, and you know maybe just like things that I want to talk about. And yeah, so this is what this channel is basically gonna be about. If you happen to be watching this video, I just want to talk about things. And the name of the channel is, I think, Graveyard of Thoughts. I even forgot what was the name of the channel, but it's the idea is to it's a mind's graveyard, and the idea is for me to use this as a way to just express myself and express ideas that come to me, and maybe in the process of me talking about them and stepping through them, maybe I can see if they're worth it. Maybe I can see, maybe if they're garbage. Most of them probably are gonna be garbage. But at the end of the day, I guess the value is that I get to express myself and maybe understand better the things that come up to me seemingly randomly. And that's the point of this video, is the of this channel, sorry. It's the place where thoughts and ideas come to die, and hence mind's graveyard. So today, I want to talk about something that has happened to me, I will say, for a pretty good time, maybe like around 10 years. And it has happened more or less depending on the situation that I'm in. And that is about, this is basically about project completion. I generally get not necessarily ideas, but sometimes ideas about making stuff. Right? I am a software developer, and sometimes I see things or projects or ideas that I want to implement and create a program out of that. And generally, I begin, and I never finish them, or almost never finish them. Right? When I'm at work, or when I was at university, I had an external motivating force that pushed me to finish the things that I started, right? Because maybe, I need to pass, I need the grade, and at work, I need to get paid and I need to be responsible. So those motivations most of the time worked. Sometimes they didn't. I dropped out of university two times before I finished it, and I haven't been fired from a job, but I have left jobs because I no longer want to do whatever I am required to do. So in those cases, I sometimes manage to not finish, right, something. Although the definition of finishing in terms of a job is different, right? Because I do finish the tasks that I need to finish and all of that, but maybe I could have done more there, and have a like a different definition of done, and then leave, rather than leaving when I'm completely tired of it. But anyway, the point is this video is mostly about personal projects, because personal projects don't have that external motivating force like you have with jobs and university and those things. So I have finished things, I have projects that I've done, but not nearly as much as I should have, based on the amount of things that I get interested in. I get interested in, let's say, game development, for example, and I start to develop games and maybe clones of existing games to understand how they work and all of that. But I don't finish any of those clones, or maybe most of them. And I mean, I also don't finish the ones that I start by myself, like my own game ideas. And I have started maybe around three of them, and I get very excited. I write down documents and charts, and anything that helps me lay out the idea. But once I start to implement it, I generally don't finish it. So my idea is that when I started with simple enough projects and I didn't finish most of them, I didn't build my confidence that I could finish these projects and I could finish things. I basically just did the opposite, right? I destroyed my confidence in finishing and building things, even when the projects were simple enough so I could finish them. Let's say, for example, that I wanted to build Tetris, for example. At the time that I wanted to build Tetris, it was a challenge to me, but it wasn't impossible, right? It wasn't something that I would have lasted like more than a month in building it. And if I had actually followed through and finished it and built it, to a decent state, I would have probably felt better about myself, and my abilities. And then that probably would have trickled down to other projects and other things. And then the complexity of the projects can grow and grow, and it's kind of like leveling up, right? Like in a game, like you're leveling up, and as you level up, you can take on stronger monsters and content. But I didn't do this fully in terms of personal projects. Like I did some things, and I have done personal projects. But I still, like when I want to start a new one, I still get like the fear. I guess I don't know if it's a fear or if it's let's say fear that I'm not gonna finish it, right? Like I'm gonna start it, but I'm not gonna be done with it. And I'm interested in the concept. I'm interested in the idea that that project represents, and what I can learn with it, and how cool it will look, and how good the process is gonna be. And I know this based on the ones that I was able to finish. Like sometimes I'm able to finish them, and I know what it's like to finish them and do something that is, cool, or that I find interesting, whatever. So I get ideas all the time of I would like to build this, I would like to build that, but I don't have confidence in myself to follow through, and I fear and I feel anxious, like physically, that I will not finish it. And it feels like I'm fighting myself. It feels like I want to do something. Let's say on a weekend, let's say I want to build a clone of the game like Galaga, for example. And I'm interested in doing this. And I want to do it. I feel like I want to do it. But then I'm also fighting the other part of me that knows you're actually not going to finish it. So you're going to be, wasting your time. And my idea now is to go back to those projects that were simple enough and now should be even more simple to do than than my abilities at the moment. And I want to finish them and kind of like get some closure, because I actually, I didn't mention that because I actually do think about some of those projects as, man, I wanted to finish that and I never finished it. So I think about them and they kind of like bug me, like, wow. And I even get bugged because there are certain aspects of building those projects that I never got to figure out. And I think about those parts of like, and I try to solve them. I try to think, oh, I would do this and I would do that, but I since I never actually solved it or I never tried to do it, I don't know if those solutions would actually work in the final implementation. So they bug me in that sense. But they bug me, and that's a reason why I want to finish them. But the real reason is I want to boost my confidence. Like I want to go back and not fix, but complete all those projects, get rid of the baggage that I've been carrying with unfinished projects. And so that hopefully helps me building, more recent ideas that I've got in the present. And one of those ideas is a YouTube channel about retro consoles and retro equipment in general. Like it can be computers, it can be video games, consoles, and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically the idea. Like go back and get rid of the baggage, right? And not don't I won't start something new, and I won't change what I have to build until I finish about like all of those projects that I find important. And there are about like maybe seven or eight of them. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know, if you have gone through these kinds of problems in terms of finishing the things you do and losing confidence in your ability to finish these things. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, if you have gone through these, or you have anything to share, you can comment in the comment box, and I will be sure to get back to you and share ideas. So bye bye.